John, great to see Robbie out doing some light running. I presume that's a big positive. Andy had said yesterday he expected him to be out for 2 weeks, but is it more hopeful than that maybe?
He's good. As you saw, he's out running, so he'll be assessed as we go along, and we'll see after the weekend how he pitches up next week.
Tadhg, the last time you were here was such a memorable night. How much are you looking forward to playing in that atmosphere again tomorrow night?
Massively. And from what I've heard, we're being told that there's going to even be even more Irish fans over at this one. So, that gives us a massive boost. Running out with that noise against South Africa was incredible, and it gives you an extra lift for sure. So, I'm very excited about it.
Hi, John. Has Andrew picked up an injury, or is it just any particular reason why Tadhg has come out? No offence, Tadhg.
I'd prefer Andrew to be here, to be honest. Bit of backup, but no, he was delayed, and
he didn't want to come.
He's filling in. So no, he's all good. Good to go.
He'll be dealt with later.
Is everyone else good to go? Aside from Robbie, obviously.
Yeah. Look, it's been a good week again. Some good prep, and I think everyone's unbelievably excited to get here tomorrow to perform in front of our support and play this game.
Okay, question here at the front.
Yeah. I might just do a question for both James and Tadhg, if that's okay. It's a big weekend for Peter O'Mahony, making his 100 cap, so massive for him and his family. James, could you tell me a little bit about your first impressions when you first met Pete?
I could, but we would have to turn the TV cameras off. No, he's a man who wears his heart on his sleeve, and he deserves all the praise that he's got this week. To play 100 caps for your country is obviously a huge achievement, in the way he's gone about his work is second to none. He's grown into a very, very great leader, and one of the best that I've definitely come across. He's emotional. He backs up his words with actions. You can think of many, many games he's been involved in that he's had huge moments that have affected the outcome, and he's definitely the sort of guy that you hate to play against but love to have in your team.
We heard a nickname for him yesterday. Do you know what that is? The Haggard Badger?
It's very fitting, if you ask me, because like I said, the first time I met him, I thought he was more of a Haggard Badger than what I think of him now. But he's a grumpy old man in his age, but like I said, he's someone you want on your team.
And Tadhg, for you?
Yeah, just incredibly impressed by him. My first experiences of him were obviously in Munster, and going over there, I'd only really seen him in an Irish jersey and what he'd done for Munster as well. But to see how he led the squad in Munster, and the training, the effort he put through in training, he, as Lowe said, he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's an incredible leader. An even better bloke, he's one of the most social guys around the place, despite what people might think of him. He's always one of the last in the team room, having a cup of tea with the lads and just chatting away. So he's hugely liked within this group, and it speaks volumes of the man he is. And I'm very excited, and I'm delighted I get to share the pitch on such a momentous occasion for him.
James. Question towards the front here. Hi, can I ask all of you, there's been an infestation of bed bugs in hotels in Paris. Have you been asked to take any precautions to check your bed before you get in them, or has that been done for you?
No. A few lads fumigate their beds naturally, so there's been no issues. You've had nothing? Some of the front five. It's not a problem for you.
Yeah, Mac I think was the cause of the problem.
Yeah. Shock.
Guys, I suppose the performance against South Africa, lots of people spoke, this is to James firstly, lots of people spoke about the nature of that performance against South Africa, and it was right up there with one of the all-time great pool games in World Cup rugby. How do you kind of step it up from that? Where do you go from that is probably my question, and how difficult is that to do?
I think we've all we're doing is trying to prove to ourselves that we can back up performance on performance, and you know, a lot was said about how good a test match it was, but I think both teams will go away with that thinking, you know, we can definitely be better, and we had the week off, we trained well, and a few days off as well, so we've definitely come into this week bouncing, looking at the ways that we can get better. You can't brush over things, especially when you do win, because otherwise it's going to, you know, the mistakes that we and the pressure that we put on ourselves are going to come back to bite us in the butt one way or another. So you take as many learnings as you can from a win as you do a defeat, and hopefully we're going to be better for it tomorrow night.
A quick question for Tadhg. Johnny described this as a last 16. Has there been a different buzz to it as a result?
I suppose we've just spoken about the importance of the game, and we essentially are into knockout rugby now, aren't we? And much the same, I suppose, against South Africa, we had the same kind of mindset, but you know, I think there's a feeling around the group that this is it now for us. We need to continue to step it up week on week. That's what we're chasing. We're chasing better performances every week, and that's what we're going to have to do if we want to continue on in this competition, and it starts on Saturday. So certainly there is a feel of a finals week for sure.
Okay, questions from Sky?
John, jokes aside, the bug issue is quite a serious one around Paris. Just to clarify, you're not taking any precautions as a team, no?
Not that I'm aware of. No, not at all. Haven't come across one really. And we've been so lucky with where we've stayed and how we've been looked after while here in France. And yeah, I haven't heard of any issues as so far.
And James, the atmosphere against South Africa, you seem to be like a player who thrives on the atmosphere, who plays on your emotions. Can you just give us an idea of what those fans can do for you guys again this weekend?
Man, no one travels like the Irish, and that's like, man, I'd say that's fact. Like when we played in Bordeaux and Nantes, and then to come to this incredible arena last week, it was something that you can't really describe or put into words. You know, the anthem ringing, Fields of Athenry, Zombie at the end, and man, it's crazy. Like it's amazing, honestly. People are saying 60,000 Irish are travelling over this weekend, and I'll tell you what, their presence is definitely felt, and it's something that we're so happy to be on the receiving end of so many positive and influential Irish supporters.
Okay, Rugby News Service here.
James, first thing, has your wife come round to your moustache yet? And B, can I also ask you how important it is psychologically in a game like this, where although Scotland have pushed you pretty close on a few occasions, you guys have obviously won the last 8. How important is that when it comes to crunch moments in matches?
My wife hates my moustache, so part of the reason why I have it. But look, Scotland are an amazing team who have definitely pushed us. I know we've probably had the better end of the stick from definitely in the last few encounters, but a team that play with a lot of passion and width and physicality. You know, it's you respect them because you know you really don't want to lose. So you respect them and you really want to go out there and put in performances that you're proud of. But we're looking forward to the challenge. You know, they've definitely got one of the best 10s in the world, and they've, you know, picked a 9 who likes running from the base, and they're definitely probably going in with a mindset of scoring tries and putting us under a lot of pressure. So 6-2 split on the bench. They've got a lot of forwards, probably, you know, impact players that are able to also change a match, so we need to match them there. But no, look, we're looking forward to the occasion and putting in another performance we're proud of.
James, just want to develop that then over here about your opponents directly tomorrow in the 2 wingers, 2 exceptional talents and 2 contrasting talents. Just try and put into words how you see those talents and what difficulties they will pose for you tomorrow?
Yes, obviously Darcy Graham's an exceptional player, and fortunately I haven't actually had to man mark him. I've never played opposite him in an international, as far as I'm trying to think back now, but very, very good feet. He's similar to the two South African boys we played last week. Catch and pass, and his ability to create something out of nothing is obviously, only probably challenged by the two boys last week. And he's definitely a handful, but you want to challenge yourself against the best, and then you look at the behemoth on the other end, who's, he's a few inches taller than me, and he's got definitely a bit more muscle than me as well. So he's a serious threat, ball in hand, but I mean, we're going to try our best to put them under as much pressure as we can, and hopefully Finn Russell doesn't find them too often in too much space.
Okay, Brendan?
John, just on that point with Finn Russell, probably Scotland are quite a unique side and, at the minute in World Rugby, that they're so sort of revolve around one player. I'm just wondering how much your side will have learned from their performance against South Africa about how to contain his threat.
I think Blair Kinghorn, both him and Russell, decision making, seeing space, and be able to use these wingers that James is talking about. That's a real concern, a real threat. They're world class at seeing the game unfold, looking for opportunities. So we talk about being off our feet, making sure that we're making good decisions off the ball to put ourselves in good positions so that we're closing off gaps, not giving them opportunities to see too much. South Africa in that second half did a good job of containing Scotland. From the very start, we need to make sure that we're on our feet, all in connected in defence, making good decisions to go to where we're needed, so that we limit what they see and put as much pressure on them as possible to take away that time so they can make poor decisions or kick.
Alex?
Question for James. James, long unbeaten run for Ireland. What does that do for the team's self-belief, confidence? Does that give you a sense of invincibility going into games? And if it does, is there a danger that complacency might creep in?
We're obviously, it does give us confidence in what we've done over the last 3 to 4 years in terms of what we've built, and we know it works. But like I said earlier, even in wins, there's still things to learn. So invincible, I wouldn't go anywhere near that word. Complacency is something that can't creep into this group as well, and it doesn't. Each week there's more than just the 23 that could easily play and do a job for the side, seamlessly fitting into position. But complacency is something that won't be coming into the side. We understand the serious threats, and we've respected every opposition that we've played so far in this competition. So we're just as diligent with Scotland as we were with South Africa, Romania and Tonga.
Okay, we'll take the final question here. Thank you.
Hi, James. Just on your own game, at the start of your Ireland career, a lot of people focused probably on the attacking side, but more so recently you're picking up even Etzebeth and things like that. How pleasing is it that they're the highlight reel moments now?
It was... Look, I pretty much just fell into a position where I had to make a tackle, and that was the end product. Josh had the brunt of him, there, but it's funny how the world works, and probably just proves if you work on something long enough, the fruits of the labour will come true. So I'm happy with where I am defensively, but complete different beast tomorrow. A 10 who likes to play wide, a 12 and 13 who take the ball to the line, and then two wingers who are exceptional with a fullback who plays on an axis with Finn. So it's going to be another challenge, but something we're definitely looking forward to.
And John, can I just ask you, the last two penalties in the previous game, both scrum penalties, I think, did Andy give you full credit for the victory, and how pleasing is that as a pack to...
John hasn't stopped talking about them, honestly.
I rarely get credit, and I won't take credit. I think the boys adjusted so well to what was a very intense period of time before those penalties, and they adjusted so well, and that's what the boys do. That's what this group does. Is they're able to adapt and adjust when the intensity climbs up, and that's going to be needed tomorrow again across the pitch, both sides of the ball, for us to make sure we're able to adapt to what's in front of us.